गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे So we are in Pancadasi chapter 11 and we are on the verse 11. 11, right?
Yeah.
This last 5 chapters is the Ananda Mimamsa, if we may say, what Ananda is, what bliss is, and how to recognize that you are that. So the whole dialogue that is going on, the various scriptures that are being quoted are towards that conclusion that you are of the nature of bliss. And what are the different types of bliss? Here it is told in the 11th verse, Anandas Trividho Brahma Anando Vidya. Oh, sorry. Continue. Anando Vidya Sukham Tatha Vishayananda Ityadau Brahmanando Vivichyate. Ananda, bliss, is of 3 kinds, and first is Brahmananda, second is Vidyananda, third is Vishayananda. First of all, Brahmananda is taken up for inquiry. The Taittiriya Upanishad is cited to explain how Brahmananda was understood by the student Bhrigu when he approached his teacher. His teacher was Varuna Bhagavan, and Bhrigu was the student. Bhrigu putra pedu shrutva Varunad Brahma Lakshanam Anna Prana Mano Buddhihi Tyaktvanandam Vijajnivan. The son Bhrigu, having heard the nature of Brahman from his father Varuna, rejected the food, vital air, mental and intellectual sheaths, and came to know the bliss. You okay where we are? And came to know the bliss. Putraha, the spelling is written wrong. Purtaha there written. Putraha Bhraguhu Pituhu Varunat Brahma Lakshanam Shrutva. Shrutva means having heard. Having heard whom? Having heard the father. What did Bhrigu do? The son Bhrigu do? Having heard the various attributes of Brahman. So what he heard the various attributes of Brahman. Does Brahman have any attributes? No. This is for explanation purpose, so that our mind does not get caught up in something. Just like when we study in the Sunday mornings Amrit Anubhav, there it is told that Satchidanand, that the Paramatma is not Satchidanand Swarup. Even those words to be applied to Paramatma or the Brahman is wrong. Why? Then why do we use those words? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Satchidanand Swarup Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup. All these different words. Why? So that we don't get caught up in Asat, Achet and Dukkham. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup. Nitya, so that we don't get caught up in Anitya, which is ephemeral. Nitya means eternal. Nitya Shuddha, pure, so that our mind does not get caught up in impurity. Therefore, the word pure is used. And this way, all these positives are used so that our mind does not get caught up, dragged down, gravitate towards these negative ones. And if you notice, when we live in our daily life, it is very easily our mind gravitates towards the negative, towards the matter, very easily, because it has practiced so much. So it requires, if we say Brahman is without any attributes, yes, he is without any attributes. But then how will you make the mind gravitate and start thinking about that which cannot be thought? So therefore these words are used. Anna prana mana buddhi mano buddhi tyaktva. Tyaktva again, shrutva, having heard, tyaktva, having given up, having renounced, having rejected through Panchakosha Vivek. What is Panchakosha Vivek? The Panchakoshas are the Annamaya Kosh, that is the gross body, Pranamaya Kosh, that is the vital air sheath, Manomaya Kosh, which is the mental sheath, Vijnanamaya Kosh, which is the intellectual sheath, and Anandamaya Kosh, which is the causal sheath or the deep sleep state. So in this way, this through Panchakosha Vivek, he gave up Anna, Prana, Mana and Buddhi and came to realize that it is not Brahman. He came to the Anandamaya Kosha. The Anandamaya Kosha is pure consciousness, which is as if conditioned by the limitation. He came to realize the Ananda, which is the content of Anandamaya Kosha. We have to bypass this Anandamaya Kosha in Vedanta. We don't want to go into Anandamaya Kosha. It will appear anyway. You sit in meditation, you do some japa, you do some chanting, you sit in silence. Oh, that silence was very deep, my God. It was magical. How 1.5 hours went, we don't know. That is Anand. When you are sitting in there, you are not going ha ha hoo hoo, but the deep silence. You are so close to your essential nature that you don't want to get away from it. But that is recognized after you come out. And that's why everyone loves deep sleep. Everyone keeps going. Why? You are so close to your essential nature. So it is a very thin veil. Just like everything is water, then from where did wave come? Who is the creator of the wave? What became manifest as a wave? But even after manifestation, it is still water. Then why are you calling it water? What is that fine line which is differentiating in your mind the wave from water? What is that fine line? Don't answer. You cannot answer. But yet you are using the word water. You are not using the word water. You are using the word wave. So what is that fine line? That is Maya. That is incomplete knowledge. That is the mind. That is the causal state.
Name and form. Name and form.
How this was done and what is the Brahma Lakshanam are explained in the next shloka. Anandadeva bhutani jayante tena jivanam tesham layascha tatrato brahmanando na sanshayah. Ananda Deva Bhutani. This first part, Ananda Deva Bhutani, this is from Taittiriya Upanishad. Beings are born out of the Anandamaya Kosh. They live in this bliss and finally get absorbed in this bliss alone. According to our scriptures, long before Maharaj Einstein came, we already have this knowledge that everything comes out of unmanifest and goes back to unmanifest. They are coming to that conclusion now. But the principles of nothing is being lost at the material level. Everything, what is the theory? Energy itself condensed becomes mass. Mass itself, when it becomes unmanifest, it becomes energy. So nothing is lost. Even if you remember Einstein, then you will not be afraid of anything in life. Were you afraid that the childhood is going and your teenage is coming? Were you afraid when teenage was going and youth was coming? Are you afraid when your hair is falling away? You are? Okay, wrong example. Because you are seeing it. This change of childhood to youth and youth to grown up, that you are not observing. It's happening, but you are not observing. You are not aware of it. You are not seeing it as an object in front of you. And therefore, you are not afraid of it. Only when you see in yourself in the mirror, then you are afraid. Oh my God, I got so old now. White hair is coming.
Swami, I don't know whether you heard about Swami. He's a professor in quantum physics, the Indian living in the States. He is talking, proving through quantum physics.
Yes. I heard about it.
Consciousness, how it can exist outside. Everything come from really.
Some of the, I have been listening, I heard actually, there are some of these from the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the Transcendental Mahesh Yogi. So there are in that organization, great scientists are associated with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Deepak Chopra is one of them. And he started his own thing. But there are many others who actually studied, questioned, contemplated through transcendental meditation, and then they did not try to prove. See, what is science? If you say that there is a cure for some disease possible, first you have to believe that there is a cure possible. Then you go about finding the cure. You see? So in our scriptures, the truth is given. The conclusions are given already. And all these scientists, Western scientists, they have gone about scientifically proving the tenets that are presented in our scriptures. Beautiful. Now they have come, I just heard the few weeks ago that everything, exactly this point, that from the unmanifest, everything is manifested. Today, all the scientists are accepting that fact. You can go to quark and all those small, but in the end, there is only unmanifest. And he explains it very nicely in the video, on YouTube. So what are these Brahma Lakshanam? Beings are born out of the Anandamaya Kosha. They live in this bliss and finally get absorbed in this bliss alone. Therefore, here in deep sleep, there is but bliss. Hence, the blissful Brahman alone is. There is no doubt. And therefore, because we have come out of the bliss sheath, our mind, in the next verse it will come, from this bliss sheath, Anandamaya Kosh, the Vijnanmaya Kosh has come, the Manomaya Kosh has come, the Pranmaya Kosh has come, and the Annamaya Kosh has come. See? And what is the source? Anandamaya Kosh. Anandamaya Kosh. If Anandmaya Kosh is the source, just like every wave is pervaded by water, then everything that is born out of Anandmaya Kosh, will it not be pervaded by Anand? Agree? And therefore, our search for happiness and joy throughout our life, whether it is food, whether it is music, words, smell, what we see, we like to see what is pleasing to us. We like to feel what is pleasing to us. We like to be in an environment which is pleasing to us. Everything we do is only for this joy, not for anything else. If you sit quietly and analyze, you will come to this conclusion. Why this conclusion is correct? Because the scriptures say so, and it is our experience also. But sometimes like the other day, lady came. She says, "Oh, Swami, my mind is very disturbed, and this and that, and uh, people say that we have to take care of our children, we have to do this, we have to take care of our husbands." But I said, "Amma, forget about what other people say. Tell me, what do you want out of this life first?" It was only 2-3 minutes we talked. I said, "What do you want out of your life? What do you think is your ultimate destination of this life? Is it death? Is it to have houses? Is it to see kids grown up and successful? Is it to be loved by your husband? What is your goal?" Without any hesitation, she said, "Moksha." But she knows this. Maybe she has read, maybe it's in our culture. So it is there. But Swamiji, what about the love for the children? I said, your parents must be also thinking the same way about you. They must have said, Maya, that I love my children, I have to bring them up properly, I have to nourish them, I have to give them good education, blah, 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 with the hope that they will take care. Did you take care of your parents? You came here without. So now it is every year or every 2 years you give them a ticket, and those old people, they will come here, spend some time with you. Or you will phone and talk to them on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. Is that what your responsibility is? Your children are also going to do the same thing. If you have done what you have done, your children are even worse. Forget about good. They are even worse. They are already answering back to you. You probably did not answer back. And they are going to live their own life. Oh, then how do I live? Is it not my duty to tell them that don't sleep late and study and you have to pass the exam? I said, you do it. Do all those things. What is not right, and if you observe it, you have to tell. But tell it without, what is the word? Tell it without attachment. Not without detachment. Without attachment.
With detachment.
So you have to tell that. But however their life is going to unfold, it is going to unfold. We believe that we have a choice. You put efforts, and one day you will realize there is no choice. But you have to put efforts. Physically, mentally, thinking, logic, meditation, everything. To come to a point that everything is just happening the way it has to happen. I cannot change anything. So, according to the Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhrigu Maharaj analyzed the Brahma Lakshanam and concluded without any doubt that all beings are born out of this Ananda. This is a penultimate step, because he is doing Panchakosha Vivek. So first he said that all people came out of the Annamaya Kosh, Then he thought, oh, prana is controlling the Annamaya Kosh. Then he came to slowly, he's doing the Laya Prakriya. He's realizing that pranas are more pervasive than the body, the mind is more pervasive than the pranas, and the intellect is more pervasive than the mind. And more pervasive than all these four is the Anandamaya Kosha. And when he comes to this, then it clicks that Paramatma is even more pervasive than all these. And this must happen to us also. See? But Swamiji, I don't have, you are having experience on a daily basis. But we insist that I am not having, because we are stuck in our own mind with one question. That is it practical? That is it, I want to see it happen to me. You are not ready to observe. If you observe your whole life from childhood till now, everything that we are talking, even now what we are going to be talking, is right now happening to you. It cannot be any other way. You have to just become aware of that, rather than live in that cyclical mode. When we wake up from deep sleep, all the five great elements as well as the individuality, that is the whole world, is created. When you are in deep sleep, are you aware of the world? Do you in deep sleep think about the husband, the children, the world, the bills, the houses, the relatives, the possessions? Nothing. You don't even forget about all these gross things. Space, air, fire, water, earth also you don't care. You don't care whether it is day or night. You don't care where the planets are. Nothing. You are dead to the world in deep sleep. Isn't it? Why? Mind has become zero. Mind has become unmanifest. The greatest discovery of Indian culture in the science of mathematics was what? The discovery of zero. Without zero, many things cannot be explained. The Arabs got it many centuries later from us. The discovery of the Veda of our Pandit, the astronomers, and I don't know who it was, is the discovery of zero. Aryabhatta was it? And it is because of him today the binary numbers or the computers 0, 1, 1, 0, all that is possible because of that zero. We can calculate up to how many billions of years only because of zero. Maybe if zero was not there, we would have lived in present. Because nothing behind, nothing forward. But the vision of Vedanta is zero, or zero is nothing, unmanifest. One is manifest. Unmanifest and manifest, both I am the observer. That is the beauty of Vedanta. Now translate that in your mind. Unmanifest mind, deep sleep state, Anandamaya Kosha. Manifest state, the Pancha Koshas, or the waker and the dreamer, waking state and the dream state. Both are observed by you every day. Yes, you do not observe. You can say that in deep sleep there is no mind, then how did I know? Now this is a question this is a very good contemplation. How did I know if my mind was not there? After waking up, how did I know that I was in deep sleep? Because we all say I had a very wonderful sleep. The one who knows the deep sleep was there is the real you. The one who knows that the dream world was experienced, that is the, not while dreaming, but after you woke up. That is the, or even while the dream was going on, he was still there because he doesn't become absent. Waker, dreamer and deep sleeper, they come and go. But the one who is the eternal observer, he never comes and goes. He is there even in this waking state while I am speaking. I am watching myself speaking. Can we take that disposition? Can we have that poise? That mouth is speaking, thoughts are coming in the mind. I'm not planning what I'm going to say. It's just a flow taking place. Otherwise, if I have to think too long, search for words, mind has trained. Mind is just nothing but a tool which, if you create a habit in it, it will start. You create a habit of thinking, it will start thinking also. And choice is yours. You make it, if you want to make it think about children, it will keep thinking about them. If you make it think about scriptures, it will keep thinking about the scriptures. If you make it think about the self, even though it knows that it cannot know the self, but it will create, that habit gets created. And that is the habit that we want to create. In this class, satsang, Pancadasi, we never come to any conclusion empirically. By words, we never come to any conclusion. But the conclusion is always there. Isn't it? Because the self, you are conscious, she is conscious, he is conscious, I am conscious, he is conscious, everyone is conscious. And that's the one we are talking about. See? First, there is a division in the undivided consciousness at the level of the thought as the knower and the known and the knower. Now this they are not talking about at the individual level. They are talking of this, about this as a phenomena. What we call as the appearance of Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha. Huh? So first there is only one, and that one then as if appears as the knower and the known. The I thought, take it individual, subjectively, it is the moment you wake up, how does your mind function? The I thought and the that thought. First there is only I am, but very next moment there is I thought and the that thought. See? So what will be I am at the totality level? Ishvara. Ishvara. We go into sleep in deep sleep. This is the microcosmic view, because that's what happens to us. But at the totality, macrocosmic view, if there is deep sleep state in the microcosm, there must be deep sleep state in the totality also. So what happens there? Ishvara. Here it is the deep sleeper. The consciousness in the deep sleep state is called prajna, and the consciousness in the total deep sleep state is called Ishvara. Why? Ishvara and Maya, that Maya is the deep sleep state, but it has not started not becoming agitated yet. The Ishvara has not tickled her. She cannot, he has not tickled her yet.
Is the reason the force of Ishvara is always meditation?
All of them. Huh? All of them in meditation only. The moment they open their eyes, something has to happen, something starts happening. So first stage is that one undivided reality as if gets divided as knower and the known. This is a phenomena. The Dvaita of the Sat, the known, and the Chit, the knower, and the mind is born. The moment these two come, that very moment the mind is born. Now understand, at the Ishvara level, there is no thought possible because there is nothing to be known. There is nothing to be known. See, the mind hasn't started functioning. Only at Hiranyagarbha stage, the mind starts functioning. And what is Hiranyagarbha stage? In subjectively taken, it is the Pashyanti. No, not the Pashyanti. Sorry, it is the Vaikhari Madhyama. Madhyama. See? No, it is Pashyanti. What am I talking about? What is Pashyanti state? Where the thought, the idea is there, but it has not sprouted yet. It's not sprouted yet, but you know it is there. Sometimes when you are thinking, if I say, "Hey, you know that, yeah, I know, but you can't work out the name, you can't work out the face, but you know it's there. But you are not able to bring out the name of that person. But you know it is there in the subconscious somewhere. So that is Pashyanti.
Is that also the dream state?
No, that's the next. The dream state or the Madhyama Vani is where the object of the thought and the thought of the object, the knower of the thought, I'll put it this way, and the object to be known, both are thought alone. That is Madhyama. And at the Vaikhari, they become separate. The word
Separate from that.
the word camera is in my mouth, but the camera is out there. In dream or Madhyama, the word camera and the camera, both are thoughts in the mind. In the Pashyanti, both are unmanifest. They have not become manifest yet. So similarly, in our deep sleep state, everything is unmanifest. So deep sleep state will be what? Pashyanti. What will, because that's where it is coming out from, isn't it?
Hiranyagarbha?
At the totality level, Hiranyagarbha. At the totality level, Hiranyagarbha.
So Ishvara is above that.
Ishvara is above that.
Then
Don't go too much. I'm just explaining because it's come. Ishvara is a term given. It's a principle. Is husband only your husband, or husband is a
Common.
a common noun? It's a common noun, isn't it? It's not exclusively only for you or her. It is a common noun. When you say husband, it doesn't. We didn't say it's your or his or anyone's. Similarly, what is that consciousness which is expressing through total and manifest? Or that is Ishvara. So Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, Virat. Prajna, Taijasa, Vishwa. That is the comparison, micro and macro. What was undivided consciousness, I am, gets degraded to the level of the mind, and the whole world, which is of the nature of mutually cancelling pairs of opposites, is born. So, what experience your waking up every morning? You wake up. Therefore, they say the moment you wake up, you should sit in meditation. Best time. The moment you wake up. Observe yourself tonight when you go to sleep, you get up tomorrow morning. Go with the sleep. I want to be aware what happens in the morning. Then you will be aware. So when you wake up, eyes are closed, body is just lying, whatever position you are in, suddenly you become aware of yourself. That's all. First thing. Next stage, the mind clicks in. And the first thought comes in the mind is, I am the body. You don't say I am the body, but I am here, I am wherever you are. See?
Is it that I thought you were talking about?
Huh. So this I am then in the mind becomes starts relating to with that and loses its what you call pervasiveness, if you want to use that word. Then it gets identified with the mind. See? And therefore we take all the world to be so much real. Or suppose you are lying down and sleeping and you wake up and you don't get out of the bed, sometimes you fall back into dream, isn't it? Fall back into dream. So that unmanifest mind, which was deep sleep, has become manifest. But it is subtle manifest. It's not gross manifest, which is waking. It is subtle manifest. See? Exactly the same way, that mind then becomes gross manifest when we wake up. Just like for the subtle manifest, there was an experiencer of that dream called the dreamer. Similarly, for the waking world, there is a experiencer of this waking world. It is called the waker. And we have accepted ourselves to be only the waker. That's where the problem lies. You have to take, last week also we told, this point came, we have to take ourselves to be the waker, dreamer and deep sleeper as one unit. Then you contemplate. We have over invested into the waking world. Over investment. See? And that's why we are caught up in it. You invest, as a dreamer, you invest in the dream world also, but you're not attached to it. So when you over invest in your child, then that pseudo entity called mother suffers. If you are an investor in stock market, then that pseudo entity called investor gets excited or suffered because of the fluctuation of the stock market. It's investment where you are putting all your attention. So here in the waking dream and deep sleep, yes, we love the deep sleep, and if given a chance, we will sleep all day also. But nature is not like that. It's just another aspect of the mind. After some time, you will come out. And then we come out, we become attached. Somewhere that attachment has to go. So that attachment goes to the waking world. See? So if you want to get out of this attachment, the only way is start taking the total view. That hey, yeah, every day waker, dreamer and deep sleeper states are coming and going, coming and going. Why should I get caught up in them? Let them do what they have to do. I don't plan what dream I am going to have. I don't plan what events are going to play out in the dream. I don't plan how the dream is going to end. If that is your conclusion every day of the dream, so is true about the waking state also. Now, you have to have courage to accept that. That courage, as long as your attention is on the body and the world, that courage will not come. When you experience a bit of quietening of the mind, you go deeper into meditation, then automatically these precepts are acceptable. That how I am making a fool of myself by giving too much value to the waking state. So if everything, just like what we said just now, in dream state, nothing is your choice, it just happens. So also is true in this waking state. Let it work it out. Let it work it out. Then what do? Don't do anything, you watch. Watch the game. Watch the game. What do you do when the dream is going on? No. The dreamer was dreaming.
We were just there.
The dreamer was dreaming. You were watching the dream game going on. That's why when you wake up, you are able to, for some little tidbits, you can tell about the dream, isn't it? Or at least you know this much that, hey, there was a dream. And it was a good one or a bad one or whatever.
So
So we wake up in a nightmare. How come, Swamiji? We get jolted into awareness immediately.
Because you must have seen some movies, you must have read something,
Yeah, but we
you
we
must
wake
have,
up immediately.
your mind has, there's no why. It
It
happens.
happens.
No, will anything happen in the world that you wake up like that from the world?
That's
as well?
when listening to satsang and all that.
That's when it happens.
Or some
But it can
bad-
happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. But we have invested so much in this world, like today, very simple. What does it mean? We have become, people are dying in so many countries in the world today. We watch the TV, watching the news that they are going hungry, they are calling out, they are famished, people are not having anything, and we are eating our food. Nothing happens to us. We have become cold, we have become insensitive. See, we have become disconnected. Disconnected is good, but is the attention on the self? We are disconnected that at least I am not there. I am the lucky one. See? So we have invested in the waking world in this manner. So it's question of my survival. So as a person, as a body, I want to survive, and I am lucky, and I will, holier than thou attitude, I'll give the donations, etc., etc. And I'll thank my stars. See? But when it might happen here, you don't know. There is no guarantee about anything anywhere. This is not about talking about Australia. In general, in creation, what may happen, when it may happen, how it may happen, in what manner it may happen, nobody can say anything. Did all these people, 10,000 people, 15,000 people who had died in Nepal, did they, when earthquake struck, did they know that it was going to happen? No. Either you make yourself to bring yourself to that level that you can know what future is going to, how it is going to unfold. Even if you know, can you do anything about it? Nothing can be done. I gave you the example of Udiya Baba. He knew how he was going to die in Vrindavan. That one of his sevaks was going to break open his head with an axe. He knew that. He had told the people, some close ones. And when it happened, the moment was upon him, and all he did was Ram, 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 and left them. And either you bring yourself to that point. See? So what is this world? It's a mutually cancelling opposites is called the world. For a male there is a female, for up there is a down, for east there is a west, for good there is a bad, for light there is dark, for inside there is outside. It's mutually cancelling, manifest, unmanifest, also an opposite. Divine, undivine. That's what world is. Or in other words you can say, that's what mind is. That's what mind is. Because the world is nowhere but in your mind. How do you know the world? Through thoughts. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, likes, dislikes, up, down, everything is a thought in your mind. Thus the consciousness, which is the essence of everything in this world, manifests in the totality as the five great elements, as well as individual points of expression, that is the individual beings which are born of the four types of yonis. So first manifestation, when there is the feeling of I am, when you wake up in the morning, subjective experience, you are still not aware of the body. Nothing has taken place. You are not even saying to yourself, I am. It's a knowingness. Similarly, at a macrocosmic level, that will be the Ishvara Tattva. Ishvara is the I am principle at the totality level. Very next moment, the, when he gets identified or you wake up, the next thing that happens, if you wake up, if the Ishvara wakes up, what will be the first thing? The moment he wakes up, space, air, fire, water, earth, the environment has to be created for you to wake up to something, isn't it? Otherwise it's not possible. So first, that is the Maya or the Prakriti or the mind. It appears, first out of it appears space, air, fire, water, earth. And then these four, now we are talking from totality point of view. And then these 5 elements mix together with each other, and then through 4 types of yonis, life comes about. What are those? That is, life comes out through egg, through sweat, through placenta, and what is the and through seed. Andaja, Swedaja, Jarayuja. So Andaja is egg, Swedaja is the sweat, Jarayuja is the amoeba, and there's one more which is placenta. So from these 4 types of places, the life appears itself. Tena jivanam, so long as the consciousness is functioning from a particular point, there is life. This is called conditioned consciousness. So there is only one consciousness. The Ishvara, you can say that is the total consciousness. There is only one, that is water, or manifestation of water as Ishvara will be ocean. There is only ocean. But then that ocean, after having, because of these 5 great elements, the individual units are automatically come about. Why they come about, how they come about, because of what they come out, no. That is the nature of matter. It keeps multiplying, it keeps changing, it keeps creating the variety. If you look at yourself, when you were conceived, you were just a zygote. No, just one single cellular, maybe 2 cellular. And you see the process of how that 2 cells keep multiplying, then the eyes come, then the arms come, then the face comes, then the legs come, and the back comes. It's like a reptile initially. And slowly it keeps. So one itself has become many. If you look at yourself, exactly the same way. That Paramatma alone has become the many, the Virat Roop. Virat Roop is the gross manifest, total gross manifest. He alone has manifested as the total. See? And life is expressing through that. But our experience is what? Subjective experience. We wake up, the mind comes into the place, space, air, fire, water is there, and we function through the mind, and we don't come to this conclusion that everything is my manifestation. It's not ours. We are disconnected. We have trained ourselves to think that you are separate to me, that she is separate to me, that camera is separate to me. Isn't it? A Mahatma lives in the same world, seeing all the separation, but inside he is one with everything. It's a disposition, it's a click, but you have to bring yourself to that so that click may happen. If you don't go to the bed and keep complaining, I am not sleeping, I don't know, sleep is not coming, how will the sleep come? If you drink coffee or you have drugs or you have whatnot and you're absolutely hyper and you keep complaining, I'm not getting sleep, I'm not getting, it will never come because you are not exposed, you are not doing what is required so that that click called sleep can take you over, isn't it? Exactly the same way. Contemplation, meditation is about creating the right environment within and without so that that click may take place. And that click is not going to come from outside. It is within only. A mother, a woman becoming a mother is a click. No training is required. I am talking to you, you're a woman. Next moment, mum is there. She's also a woman. How come I am behaving differently to you and I am behaving differently towards her? Click. There's no thinking process involved in that. It's spontaneous. It's automatic. Same thing happens within also when we sit in meditation. It will become automatic. It will dawn upon you that what your essential nature is. You can say, here I've looked at her so many times, interacted, so it become a memory, a program in my mind. You can say that. So, according to Vedanta, this phenomena of consciousness expressing through the mind or the body or the total is acceptable to explain. This is, till here is Ishvara's creation. We saw it in the last chapter, one of the chapters. Now is individual creation. So imagine this hand starts saying, I have got my own rights, I have got my own future, I have got my own past, I am going to do what I want. Will this total function? Is it possible? It will not. Imagine some say cell, this is still an organ. Take one, suppose the pancreas is there. It starts saying, oh, for a long time I have been secreting only insulin. I think I should start secreting hydrochloric acid. Why? Only I have to secrete insulin. Why can't I? Competition. Foolish. It's not possible. Isn't it? Similarly, it's the one who's expressing through many. It is, we are one, but there is so many within in this subjectively taking. Just like if every cell in this body starts saying I have an individuality, there will be a problem. So also there is a problem in that one phenomena where consciousness expressing through the mind as at the totality level, and in that total Virat Purush, everything is included. Everything is there. Every living being is there. Just like in us, every cell is there. Different types, varieties. If we are a part of that Virat, we have started saying, who Virat? I don't know, I have not seen, I have not ever met him, I don't know about him. And we start establishing our own identity, that I am only this body. Just like the cell in our body says, I am only this cell. I don't know if you are talking about this Swami Paramananda, I don't know about Swami Paramananda. I don't know that there is a Virat, because for him, this is the Virat. For the cell, this is the Virat. Can he ever come to know Virat? He has to give up its cellhood. Then he will come to know. Exactly that's the situation we are in. We are holding on to our form. We are not ready to give up the individuality. This is Jiva's creation. This is not God's creation. This is Jiva's creation. The former is the reality and the latter is an illusion. So if every cell in our body started having an individual ego, will that be the reality? Or Swami Paramananda is the reality? So if that total phenomena is the reality and we are the individual cells in that phenomena, give up. I'm giving you a vision. That's all I can give you. Give up this individuality. Recognize. And that is the growth. We are not going into Anandamaya Kosh to experience the various levels of Ananda. At the intellectual level, first we come to the knower and then we recognize that this knower is the one without second who is expressing through all the bodies. That we cannot come to know, it will happen as a grace. But we must try to contemplate, think, what would it be like? Only when you put efforts, then effortlessness may appear itself. But if you don't try, you are lazy, nahi yaar, ab hoga tab hoga, then nothing is going to happen. Tesham laya tatra eva. Everything goes back and is reabsorbed in consciousness only. Therefore, the bliss is Brahman. There is no doubt about it. So, everything comes out of that bliss and everything goes back to bliss. Anandamaya ko. There is no individual Anandamaya. I am using the words being subjective, micro and macro. There is nothing like that. That is also in your mind only. Micro and macro are two words in your mind only. So take it out of your... You are the source. That's it. Story over. So Bhrigu Maharaj came to recognize himself that he is of the nature of Brahman in this manner. Bhutotpatte pura bhuma, Bhutotpatte pura bhuma, Triputi dvaita varjanat, Triputi dvaita varjanat, Nyatru jnanagneya rupa, Nyatru jnanagneya rupa, Triputi pralaye hino, Triputi pralaye hino. Before the creation of the great elements and their effects like different bodies, etc., the Supreme Self, devoid of any limitations of time, space, etc., was without any duality, without any separation on account of the trio. Because this trio of knower, known, knowledge is also absent in the final dissolution. So, in the deep sleep, was there a knower, known, knowing? Was there a knower, known, knowing? No. Then manifestation happened, and then again unmanifestation. So before also knower, known, knowing was not there, and afterwards also knower, known, knowing was not there. Isn't it? So where is the knower, known, knowing? Only when you are in the mind, not in the mind. Go to the basic principle. Waking and dream are both in the mind. Deep sleep is also of the no mind. So when the mind clicks in of its own accord, you don't say that the mind must, it comes in. The moment it comes in, that very moment, knower, known and knowing starts functioning. At the Virat Purush level, at the totality phenomena which we were talking about before, that consciousness expressing through total, there is no knower known. When a Mahatma realizes while living, within him there is no knower known. He is just the being. Because knower known and knowing, these three, like these three legs, they support each other. They are complementary to each other. You cannot have one without the other. Then without it, the edifice called the stand will not stand. Without this knower known knowing, the ego has got no meaning. It cannot stand. It will not be able to exist. See? So, from the totality point of view, there is no knower known, nor knower known knowing, and from individuality point of view, there is knower known knowing. From the totality, from the reality point of view, there is no mind. Here we have created our own, we have created the mind. Before the creation of the five great elements and four types of creation, there was absence of the triputi. This word is called, knower known knowing is called knower known knowing, observer observed and observing, seer seen and seeing, and so on. And these are called the triputis. Trio of knower known knowledge and or duality. This consciousness was devoid of limitation of time, space and object. The trio of knower known knowledge which are only imagined in the consciousness. Good one. So if you think you are the knower, if you think you are knowing something and there is a known object, these are only imagined in consciousness. Just like a wave imagines its own separate existence if it could think from the water. Because where is its attention? On the known. What is the first thing that you come to know? Body. So what is the wave coming to know? Its form. And therefore it has a separate existence. Even though all the time being the water. But because its attention is on the form, because our attention is on the form, so if we have to now trace our journey back, the first thing that will have to happen will be body disidentification. Without body disidentification, no future further growth is possible. And how do you bring about body disidentification? Not by cutting your head. Literally. How? Shift the attention to the conscious principle. Let him do what is required to be done. How do you go to sleep? By shifting your attention to the sleep. The whole world and its commissions and omissions, they automatically vanish. They lose their impact, their enticing power, they lose. Isn't it? When you sincerely, with faith, with devotion, are looking at, wanting to sleep, the whole world loses its impact. Exactly the same way, when our attention shifts to this conscious principle, which is ever available to us, because we are that. We are that. And that you can contemplate it in the man. How do you contemplate it? Who is this fellow who is observing on a daily basis the three states? Who is this fellow who's observing all the thoughts right now? I know, I just now spoke. Yeah, I know that I spoke, that I just now spoke. See? Who is observing? Otherwise, if mind is only thinking and throwing thoughts after thoughts after thoughts after thoughts, who is knowing it then? Catch that fellow. And in this way, our only knower, no knowledge are only imagined in the consciousness, and because of which the duality is also imagined. True, this division again ceases to exist in the pralaya. This duality which has appeared at the mental level for us, it again disappears when we go to sleep, then again appears the next day, then again disappears. So also it is happening at the totality level. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh come, then they disappear, pralaya, then again the creation begins, then again pralaya. In Bhagavad or in Gita, we are in the 8th chapter, there it comes. That Brahmaji also has a day of 1000 celestial years. That 1000 years is equal to 74 yugas cycle. Each yuga is Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar and Kalyug. According to the Bhagavatam calculations, 4,032,000 years is one cycle of yugas. No, not one yuga, only Kali Yuga. Double the time is the Dwapar Yuga, 3 times Kali Yuga is Treta Yuga, and 4 times Kali Yuga is the Sat Yuga. So imagine, you can't calculate. That is one day of Brahmaji. Equally long is the day of night of Brahmaji also. So he also goes to sleep, meaning what? His mind also becomes unmanifest. Brahmaji. Now don't take Brahmaji, if you take these 3, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, as doing a particular role. Brahmaji is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer and Shiva is the destroyer. Then they are functioning through the total mind. Isn't it? They are functioning through the total mind. So don't take them to be the Ishvara in this sense. But it is that one Ishvara alone expressing as 3. And all the 3, they know what their essential nature is. They all 3 are the only ones who know what their essential nature is. That they are of the nature of Brahman and none other. And yet doing their duty. Nobody is competing. No, I want to be the destroyer. No, I want to be the creator. No, I want to be. They are doing their duty. So similarly, if those 3 are doing the duty, creator, maintainer and destroyer, while knowing what their truth is, this is how Mahatmas live. On earth, they are merged in the truth and they are functioning. And we, even though that truth is ever available to us, we are not available to it. Why? Body identification. The first thing that happens as a result of knower, known, knowing is that I am the body. First thing. And now we have accepted so deeply that we are the body, that everything, every action in our daily life is prompted by that foundation thought that I am the body. That it governs all our activities. It governs all our thinking also. Oh, I'm going to die, this body is going to die, I must realize. Even that thought that I must realize is also governed by I am the body. You want to be free of body identification. See? So instead of going in that direction, in Vedanta, we straight away come to the conscious principle. This is just a little bit explanation given so that we understand the Anandamaya Kosh, how Bhrigu Maharaj came there. But our purpose is to be that conscious principle all the time, every moment. Be alert to yourself while speaking, while listening, while talking, while eating, while walking, while driving. Be alert about yourself. Not alert about the mind, but be alert about the one in whose presence the mind is able to function. What are these three aspects of knower, known and knowledge? What's the time? Vijnanamaya utpanno Jnata jnanam manomayah Neya shabdadayo naitat Trayamutpattitah pura. The Vijnanmaya Kosh is the knower, the Manomaya Kosh is the knowledge, and the sound etc. of the objects known. Now how this identification, now the space, air, fire, water have come about, the form has come, and now this knower, known and knowing have come about. How? And how do you know them? Through mind only. But what is this mind? Now we just say mind, but then there is, in the mind is the body. The first, after Anandamaya Kosh, which is the kosha that comes? Vijnanamaya Kosha. So now it will be told that when this consciousness identifies with the Vijnanamaya Kosh, the I thought is born, the knower is born. When this consciousness, as if, because it's all imaginary. Imagine wave talking about, wave saying, I have got a mind, I am the knower, I am the known. That consciousness, as if identifying with the mind, with the Vijnanamaya Kosh, it was the knower. With the Manomaya Kosh, with the Manomaya Kosha, with the mental sheath, it appears as knowledge. And when it identifies with the senses, it becomes the known. And this way, these three, gross body, subtle body and causal body, intellectual sheath. Just like you identify with the wife, husband appears. You identify with the child, father appears. You identify with the company, employee appears. Same way, this consciousness identified with the intellect, I appears. Consciousness identified with the mind, I know appears, knowledge appears. And consciousness identified with the senses, the object appears.
With the senses means like the
Space.
Anandamaya Kosha.
No. See? And understand, this consciousness alone is the one which is everything. Within itself, it has become two, as I thought and that thought. It itself has become the I, the knower. It itself has become the known. It has itself become the knowledge also. And it's playing with itself. This is the Leela, which the Lord Krishna took the gopis for. This is what they realized, that everything is He alone. So consciousness accepting the conditioning of the Vijnanamaya Kosh is the knower. consciousness accepting the conditioning of the Manomaya Kosh is the knowledge, and the known is the five senses, objects, seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. Etatrem Utpattitah Purana. These three were not present before creation, before space, air, fire, earth came about. Before that, the knower, known, knowing were not there. After this space, air, fire, water, earth become unmanifest, the knower, known and knowledge will not be there. Recognize this. Every day you go to sleep, are you aware of the space, air, fire, water, earth in sleep? When you wake up, all these come about. When you go back to night, again they will vanish. They will become unmanifest. It's just another word of unmanifestation. So recognize that what you call as knowledge in the waking state, it was not present before creation and it will not be present after creation. And we are so obsessed with this temporary knowledge of the world. Yeah, Sundar, beautiful. And we are so obsessed. Dreamer is not obsessed. Every day he has a new dream. And we pull yesterday into today, today into tomorrow, tomorrow into day after tomorrow. And we are living whole life still pulling. Isn't it?
Still planning also.
Still planning also. But look at the dreamer. Is he planning anything? He drops everything and lives the next day. If I may take the liberty of saying, he is living as a witness. He is detached. He does what has to be done in the dream and then forgets about it. Chalo, story over. Let's start a new life tomorrow.
Just as you wake up also, sometimes if you've had a nightmare, thank God it was only a nightmare, and then you, big deal,
And you go away.
go away.
But we have become obsessed with our waking life, and we think that is very real.
Real.
So these three were not present before creation. Before the waking state, the pure consciousness is. Before the dream and the deep sleep states, also the pure consciousness is. It is the eternal witness. We are not talking about the witness who is able to witness the thoughts, not that witness. So, in other words, it will be the intellectual sheath observing the mental sheath. Isn't it? In the intellectual sheath, the I thought appears, and in the mental sheath, the that thought appears. So, I thought watching the that thought. That is not the witnessing we are talking about. We are talking about the one who never vanishes. That I thought in intellectual sheath vanishes every day when you go to deep sleep. But this eternal witness, when you take him as the observer of the three states, witnessing the three states, and even right now, while you are listening, if your attention is on that, yeah, I know yesterday I had all the three. That moment, you are that. Even while you are speaking, you are that. It was not the mind who came to know. Mind cannot come to know that there were three states yesterday, that it went through. Because mind is always in the present moment, if technically speaking. This imaginary entity called ego, this is the problem. You break down everything, you will find mind is also living every moment. He is in the present moment all the time. Senses are also in the present moment all the time. I has to be in the present moment all the time. Identification is where the problem begins. This I identifies with the mind and the objects and starts identifying so fast that a new entity called ego comes up. Imagined entity. The consciousness which is dormant in deep sleep, when it begins to germinate, this is the first stage of happening. When it begins to germinate and gets identified with the Vijnanmaya Kosh, and I, the knower, the waker is born. The next stage is identification with the Manomaya Kosh, where knowledge takes place. Consciousness cannot identify with knowledge without the I in between. Cannot. If it's only one I, and identity, it's okay, that's the total phenomena. But if it's the ego I, then it's the individuality. The individuality arises on account of these two koshas. The gross body is accepted as I, the sense objects begin from the body, and the whole world is created. Before this trio came into being, the consciousness alone was. I have told you a lot of things which are not given there. We went into, Swamiji just kept it simple, but my contemplation kept going. Huh? Now after this, the Vidyaranya Swami quotes some scriptures to prove, to authenticate that what conclusion he has come to is true. Why he needs that? That is the Vedanta Paddhati, but understand this scripture is a creation of Vidyaranya Swami. It is not Shruti, it is not Puranas, it is not anything. So he has to quote that. And even when the scriptures are talking, or someone is writing a commentary on, for example, Bhagavad Gita, they will quote their statements, their explanations as being authenticated by the Upanishads or the Puranas. So that's the practice. And with this, next week we'll start the 16th verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for 2-3 minutes.